In this video, we're going to look at 3 stocks for my weekly trade ideas, and these are for option sellers and wheel option traders. So 3 stocks we're going to look at are Option Healthcare, that's OPCH, Knight-Swift Transportation Holdings, ticker KNX, and Interactive Brokers Group, that's IBKR. Okay, but before we do that, let's take a look at some of the trades that we've been doing recently and see how they've been performing. Okay, so here we are in the portfolio screen of our options wheel strategy tool. And as you can see, we've got 4 stocks here that have been, or 4 trades that have been grayed out. And by grayed out, that indicates that these are closed. And we can isolate those by toggling them up here. So just to show closed trades only. Okay, so here are the 4, and these were all active in the last video we did. And since then, I've bought to close all 4 of them out, as you can see here, BTC buy to close. So in each case, the trades have closed above the strike price, so they haven't been assigned over to us, and they've been closed, and we've collected premium, and that's the end of each trade. So let's have a quick look at each of these in turn to see how they did. So starting with MPC, and you can see here on the chart, here's when we opened the trade. And you can see we bought to close the trade 4 days before expiry, and the trade went well during that period. We stayed well above the strike, and as you can see with the support and resistance lines that we drew in, they've performed really well, bouncing off them here and here and staying above, acting as resistance here, and we closed out nicely. And you can see we closed at premium 0.04, which gave us a P&L of 130. Okay, then on to STLD. And again, you can see the trade here. This wasn't an easy trade. We fell below the strike, and I was keeping my eye on this, considering what to do. But things picked up here, as you can see, and we made on a nice movement upwards, breaking through the 50-day simple moving average. And we closed 2 days before expiration at, as you can see, a nice premium, $148, bought to close 2 days before expiration. Okay, the third one is URBN. And yeah, this is a great trade. We had a few days of it stumbling around, not making much of an improvement. And then we had some good news. The stock shot up and we closed well before expiration there. Premium was only 0.05, so it was well worth closing out with a good final profit and loss of $241. And then last but not least, Toll Brothers. And again, another great stock. It just performed great all the way through this trade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days before expiration, we closed that out, bought it at a premium 0.05. So that was a profit of 112 euros. So that was the 4 stocks, and you can see them listed here in the trade history screen. Realized profit and loss. There's only 4 trades in here because we're doing this with the videos that we release, and all 4 there you can see the puts bought to close, and so far during the month $631 profit. Okay, so let's have a look at the stocks that are currently active, and you can see we've got 4 active stocks here that we talked about in our previous videos. 3 of them still have 28 days to go until expiration, but one we're just 1 week away, SWKS. As you can see, that's sitting nicely above the strike of 95. So let's have a look at that on the chart. Okay, and as you can see, we've had a nice upward movement since opening the trade back on the 24th of May, hitting a high of around 111, 112. We've had a few days of dropping down now, but as you can see, we've bounced off the support line there yesterday. So back to the portfolio screen, and I'll change that up here to toggle to show active trades only. So there are the 4 trades. And as you can see for Skyworks, it's showing highlighted in orange, which indicates there's just 7 days left to expiration, and that changes colors as you get closer. And as we can see here, we're sitting nicely at a current P&L of 86.2, which, as it's green, it indicates that we're valued at 90% of decay. So normally in this case, I would look to be buying to close. There's not much room left now before we get to 100% anyway. However, unfortunately, this stock is not particularly liquid, and we're not getting very good quotes to buy to close those out. So I'm quite happy where we are on the chart. So we'll just leave that for a few more days. Maybe next week we'll get a good opportunity to buy to close that, or we might just leave it to expire at expiry. Okay, on to the next one. That's PCAR. So the next three we opened a couple of weeks ago, and we still got 28 days remaining. And as you can see, all three are nicely above their strikes. Quick look on the charts. See that PCAR has flown up since we opened the trade, and now we're hovering nicely well above the strike price. So we're going to let that run its course. It's looking in very nice condition. Okay, XOM I'm a little bit concerned about. Okay, I mean, we're sitting nicely above strike, but we've fallen since opening the trade. And as you can see, it's been held up nicely by the 102 support line. So we're going to keep an eye on that. I don't like the fact that we're below both the 250-day simple moving averages. I'm going to keep an eye and see how those support lines hold it up, with a view to either allowing the trade to continue or maybe buying to close early, possibly at a loss, just in case it continues to fall. So that's something to keep a close eye on. And then finally, PHM. Again, on the dashboard, you can see we're sitting very nicely above the strike of 65. You can see that here on the chart. And since opening the trade, we've been constantly rising up there. You can see we're over the +1 standard deviation. So that's in a very nice situation, well above the simple moving average lines we have there on the chart. So that's looking good, and we'll see how that progresses during the next couple of weeks. Okay, so on to my 3 weekly trade ideas that I'll be considering opening next week. And before going forward, please understand that this video is made for entertainment purposes only, and none of what I'm about to say in this video constitutes any financial advice. So here you can see on the wheel calculator screen, the first 4 stocks are the active stocks that we've got trading right now. And then the next 3 stocks are the 3 stocks I'm considering. So we've got OPCH, KNX, and IBKR. So on to Options Healthcare Inc. And this is a health services company focusing on infusion therapy services, including at-home, self-administered infusion devices. Now, this is a huge growing market, and this company is at the forefront of patients' home delivery infusion systems, and it's for a whole array of chronic and acute conditions. Okay, now their financials are very strong, with good recent revenues, profits, and a healthy cash flow. And here we have OPCH open on the daily chart showing the previous 12 months. And as you can see, it's been trading nicely in a channel between around 36 and 25. And yeah, we've dropped down now around 29.86 from high to around 36. So there's a bit of movement possible upwards there. You can see the last couple of earnings reports have been good. Both times a beat on both earnings and revenue there as well. Interesting, in the last earnings report, you can see we had a big fall there just before earnings, but the earnings came out with a beat, and you can see a good recovery since then, up to a level of 29.86. Moving into the last 6 months, here we go. And you can see the stock's been bouncing nicely off the +2 standard deviations there, and further down in this area, the -2, with that one big drop below it just before the earnings reports. You can see the stock now is trading just around on the 50-day simple moving average line, and just below the 200-day simple moving average. So we always want to try and move into trades that are trending above this 200-day simple moving average, and preferably above the 50-day. We're a little bit off from that now, but hopefully next week we'll see movement upwards, and if it breaks through that 200-day simple moving average and shows confirmation of staying there, then that's a trade that I'd really like to look into. As for the strike price we're looking to set, we're looking to be around 1.3 standard deviations below where it is now. So that would set it around the 27.5 line for the strike. So that would be about an 8% drop from its current price, which would leave us a good bit of wiggle room if we start to fall towards the strike. And on the way down, we'll need to pass through these 3 lines, support lines that I've listed here, and they're good strong supports. You can see they've been touched multiple times. So on the way down to 27.5, if that happens, there's some possibilities we can bounce back up there. And looking on our wheel calculator screen, we can see that the put option strike 27.5 with its current stock price of 29.86. So that 8% drop in price will bring in an option premium of around $1. That's an expiration date of 21st of July, which is 26 days from next Monday when we'd potentially open the trade. Brings in a nice premium of $100 at a great annualized rate of 50%. And analysts also showing that they're optimistic with this stock, showing a potential 23.58% upside, with all 5 of these analysts rating it as a strong buy. And looking at some of the recent news for this stock, we can see that Simply Wall Street are very optimistic and bullish on this stock, saying that giving it good news investors, Option Care Health is still a bargain right now. And further down, you can see that they're stating that OPCH is currently undervalued and showing that profit is expected to grow by 34% over the next couple of years. So the future seems bright for Option Care Health. Let's move now on to my second potential trade, Knight-Swift Transportation Holdings. And this is the 5th largest trucking, transportation and logistics company in the United States, with a huge fleet of over 4,000 trucks and 8,700 trailers. Okay, so onto the daily 1-year chart. And as you see, the stock's been on a good upward trend, rising up from a low of around 44 up to around 64, and currently sitting around $10 lower than that at 54.05. So there's a bit of room to move upwards there. As you can see, earnings haven't been great over the last 3 reports. However, the last one did show a beat in revenue, a bit of a loss there on earnings. Each time they've had these reports, they've had no real effect on the stock price. Actually, each time the stock price has risen up. So it shows they're a very stable company, even with adverse earning reports. And looking more closely at the 6-month chart, you can see it's been bouncing nicely off the +2 and -2 standard deviations, with one blip here where it went way over the +2, and it's come down. It's trading nicely in the channel between the +1 and -1 more recently. There's good strong support at the 53, 52 and 51 lines. So we'll be looking to set our strike below these. A good place to set, as usual, is around 1.3 standard deviations lower than where it's sitting right now, which is around the 0 standard deviation line. So that would put it around the $50 mark for possible strike, which represents a 7% drop in share price from its current price. Which again is a nice buffer there in case it does fall down below. And it's currently trading just under the 200-day simple moving average and also below the 50-day simple moving average. So again, I'll be looking for this to push up through those in the coming days, giving me the opportunity to pull the trigger on the trade, knowing that it's safely above this drop line. And on to tip ranks, and as you can see, analysts are very bullish with this stock, with an average upside of 20.65% and the highest one of $80. With the 14 ratings, 11 are buys, 2 holds, with just 1 analyst suggesting a sell. And now on to recent news, and Barron's have adjusted their outlook on the transportation industry, now becoming more bullish, and showing that they've upgraded several trucking and rail stocks, and also saying that transport fundamentals are running at or near lows for the cycle, and the second derivative improvement in the second half of 2023 will be a catalyst. So it looks like the industry is in for a boost. And also Simply Wall Street has recently published their optimistic feelings for the stock, saying here in the conclusion, all in all, it's terrific to see that Knight-Swift Transportation Holdings is reaping the rewards from prior investments and is growing its capital base. And investors seem to expect more of this going forward, since the stock has rewarded shareholders with a 41% return over the last 5 years. With that being said, we still think the promising fundamentals mean the company deserves some further due diligence. And onto our wheel calculator screen, and as you can see here, KNX with the 50 strike has an option premium of around 50 cents. That's for 26 days until expiry, which equates to 14% premium annualized. And finally, onto Interactive Brokers. And as many of you know, this is a large investment and trading broker with a customer base covering large sections of the globe. And I actually use their broker services and like it a lot. Their trader workstation platform is lightning fast and really comprehensive. This will be potentially the first time I trade their underlying stock, which feels a bit strange, but that shouldn't matter as long as their financials and outlook are good. And they are. Revenues and profits are strong, they have a healthy balance sheet, and they have good cash flow. And looking on their daily one-year chart, you can see they're on a very good upward trajectory, flying up from around $52 up to highs of around 90, and currently sitting at 79.56. So again, there's a possibility for further improvements there. Earning reports have been generally good. The last one showed a very slight miss on earnings, but a beat on revenue. And looking at the 6-month daily chart, we can see that they've been trading pretty much sideways from 6 months ago from now, with a bounce off the +2 standard deviation line here and a couple of bounces off the -2, and we're currently sitting just below 0 standard deviation. The stock price is positioned nicely above both the 50 and 200-day simple moving averages, which is really good to see. And you can see we've got a couple of strong support lines there, which we can hopefully bounce off if the stock shows signs of falling. And looking at the strike price, 75 there is a strong support line, which would also act nicely as the strike, which would represent around a 6% fall from its current levels. And onto analyst forecasts, we can see the 5 analysts here are very optimistic, very bullish, pushing for a 40.52% potential upside over the next 12 months. And this represents a strong buy, all 5 of them rating them as a buy. Recent news looks good. Barron's here have listed Interactive Brokers along with Fidelity as leading the survey for online brokers for 2023. And Barron's also go on to show they're bullish on Interactive Brokers stock, saying here that Barron FinTech Fund highlights stocks like Interactive Brokers Group. So they're looking very positive and bullish on their stock. And then on to our wheel calculator again, and we can see that Interactive Brokers with the strike of 75 gives us an option premium of around $1 in 26 days for expiration, which is an 18% premium analyzed. So there you have it. These are my 3 potential trades for next week. I'll be keeping a close eye on them early in the week, and all going well, I'll be selling puts on them to open the trades. So if you've got any comments or questions, please let me know in the comments section below. And also please like and subscribe to receive notifications of more weekly trade idea videos. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more option trading videos, head on over to our website at wheeloptiontraders.com. Here you'll find our Options Wheel Strategy Trading video course. We have over 50 videos and counting, from the basics of understanding and trading options through to using the wheel strategy to get the most out of your options trading. We also have an amazing options wheel strategy tool that you can download. It tracks all your trades in real time and provides key insights to help you with your options trading decisions.